Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher speaking. We're moving on. We should have burnt all of the tail, relieved it out, and got the feathers out. Now we're going to start off the bottom. So I'm going to take you down with the camera here, show you how to minimize what's happening down here so we can continue on. So bear with me, and I will take you on that journey. The other thing I wanted to say is I hope you got something out of that Q&A on the last one. I'm sorry, it's actually two back. Just to be helpful, I hope it was. And I try to pass the information along as I find it, and if it's helpful, great, you know. And just want to let you know that if anybody is interested in doing this project with me, or other projects that I have done already before, like the cardinal or the wren or the finch or otters or what have you, I have them. I have kits for them. I have patterns for them. I have the feet and the eyes. I have bits that I use and everything else. So if all that is helpful to you, definitely contact me. I can send you a catalog. It's only like a 5-page catalog or something like that. And I do carry other stuff, but I'm just showing you that. And if you need additional things, contact me and I'll see if I can help you out, okay, where we can. And if you could, as you watch my videos, if you would, subscribe to my channel. And if you could pass the word on, that would be really grateful too. And if you can give me a thumbs up, that really helps too. So we're moving on. I'm going to do the bottom, and I'll show you how to do that. So bear with me. Okay, we're moving on to the bottom of the tail. What I'm going to ask you to do is make sure you got your center line in there and get that back in case it got erased. And I want to show you so much of this. Once you got that in, we had this before and it stopped right here. So I'm going to have you measure from the tip of this feather out here back 1.25 inches, okay? Or if you had taken all this out, I'm going to say, I'll give you a measurement from where you end it. It should be about 1 inch in from this V here, okay? The overall from outside of this furthest feather in is 1.25 inches. But if you want to take it from the video, I'm sorry, from the V, I'll get it right, to here, it's 1 inch, okay, either way. Now, what I did is I extended this out to here, like so. And what I also want to do is come down a little bit more in the 16th and draw a line that's following the edge of the burn here, because I don't want to go into the burn, and come around and keep this a little bit more in the, if I said 1/8, I meant a 16th here, a little bit more in the 16th. I'm going to come around here, mark this out for the 16th, roughly. I don't want to get thinner than that because we're going to thin this down. And I'm asking you to get it just a little bit more than the 16th, okay? All the way around. That'll be a stop, so that when we take material out from the bottom here, I want you to stop at that line, then this line here, and this line here, okay? So what I'm going to use in this case here is I'm going to get my hogging bit. This is a typhoon burr. I'm going to get that in. I'm going to turn that on, and I'm doing full speed with my grinder. And I'm going to come in and Let me get my hat off. I'll put my optimizer on. Not that I need that, but it's just good to have. I'm going to come in here now, and I have this concave already from what we did before. I'm going to go in and do this gradually. I'm going to get my finger up here so in case I come around, I don't whip around on this, because I don't want you disturbing your burn. But if you do, we could remedy that by reburning it again. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm taking this concave area and I'm sweeping it up so it's still concave right on up to that line, or almost that line. You could be short of the line. I'm going to come right on up to here, to that 1.25 inches in, and come right on out. And I'm doing this gradually so that I have control. Okay. And I have the valley already down here somewhat, so you're gradually sweeping this up. Now let me stick this out a little bit. And my hand pieces banging into this a little bit. So I'm going to come in here. This will help me get in a little bit better. And this is just to get the excess out. I don't want to whip around because this bit tends to want to whip right around and start massaging this. So when I get close, I could come this way a little bit and take it gradually down to the line. See what I'm doing? I'm just staying shy of the line. We'll thin this out a lot, but I want to keep this as a concave area where we have this slope. Now, in the middle here, we got to go down a lot more, so I'm now going to go in and take this out. I'm going to run a valley right on down and out to where I get close to that line. Maybe I don't want to just hit the line, but something like that. I don't know if you can see that well. Then I'll move this, and I'll keep this swale in there. That's a nice, easy one to come straight on down into that valley. And you can see by the pencil line around here, I want to stay in control. So I'm going to bring this down gradually and watch where I'm at so I don't go past the pencil line. Okay? You can see the pencil line's still there, just about. And this gets pretty close too, so that's good. Now on this one, I'm going to come this way with it. Okay, I'm going to angle my bit down. And sort of get it to go inward. And I'm going to try to watch where my pencil line is, so I don't go below it. I find this direction works for me, but you'll have to suit what works for you, okay? And just take your time. And you want to use the tungsten carbide bit because it could take a lot of material out much faster than any other bit. And you don't want to use a ruby and be here all day trying to get it out. Even a diamond will cut it a little faster, but you don't want that. This is the ideal bit for doing what we're doing now. You notice I'm trying to keep a swell in there, even. So I'm getting close to that line. And I always want to baby this so that I'm trying to just get up to the line, but not quite onto the line. Then here, I just go nice and easy. And then I'll get this swell back. Just like that. Okay. I'm trying to get it to roll across. If you don't get it exactly, you could sand it out too a little bit. Try to take all this. So that's pretty good. Now, you're not going to get 100%. You can see there's some gouges and things like that. So here's where we come back. We take this out. We use the pear. My pear is my go-to bit for everything. And I'm just going to smooth this out. This is a finer cut. It will get me almost as if like you sanded it. That's what I'm trying to achieve. It needs any finer manipulation of the material. This is the guy to go to. So we're pretty good. We're all the way around pretty even, just shy of the pencil line, okay? Now, the other thing that happens on this piece is it has a rump. And that rump, let me see if I remember correctly. Yeah, let me consider that. Hang on. This is coming down. I'm putting my center line back in there again so that I have that as a reference. And then this is going to come out this way. And this is going to come out this way. Okay. So we have a little more work to do. Here's that line of action that came. This tail comes all the way up into here. And this rump comes around to here, like so. Okay. Hope you can see this well. And you want to make both sides the same. This side here, the pencil line came right into there. So you got a lift in here. Now, I could have done it with the hogging bit, but I'm going to use the pear in here because we're going to be tight. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to run my bit, on my finger. And I'm rounding this over, following the pencil line. But I don't want to go any deeper than this feather line coming into the body. So I have to use that as a stop too. So I'm going to bring this material up to that line. So that swell is coming all the way back to here. All the way back. Hope you can see that. There's our pencil line right here. I cleaned this out up to here. Then I'm going to come around this side. Let me mention, this side here is the pencil line. Here's our wing line, and here's our rump line. Okay, so I'm going to come right in here. I'm undercutting and leaving the pencil line with the rump in place. I don't want to go into the wing. I'll stop short of that, and I don't want to come past the tail line coming into the body. Okay, I think I got that all the way down. I hope you can see that. I have that all dressed out in there. So here's what we want to do. For this valley down in here, here's the valley down in here. And everything runs straight into this body. Now I want to get rid of this edge up top here. This is like a rise and fall in there. This has to slope down to that bottom of the valley here. So let me show you. I'm going around. I'm going to get this rump and roll it around. Okay, right there. You can see it gets lighter as it comes out. So I'm moving this one like a 30-degree angle. And I'm trying to put it like a 30-degree chamfer all the way around without banging the wing and going down to that line. So let me keep on doing that. Gotta go down maybe to a 20-degree right at this point right there. Then here's what we ended up doing. We moved that rise and fall that was closer to here back to here now. Now I'm going to roll this way and this way. So what I'm doing is I'm rounding this over to the center line. Then I'm going to round this over to the center line without hitting the wing. I'm rounding this up like this, okay? So you haven't, this is going to slope down and get right down to this line here. This is that valley we had. Okay. This all slopes right down to that. Now we'll clean this up down below here. So it looks like these feathers are going right into the body. I need a little bit more to take out here. Hope you can see this. I didn't go out of camera range. Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape. For some of you that may have a sanding device like these, and I do sell them, you can even get them bigger than these. And you want to run these at half speed. I don't know how many times I can state that because a lot of people run these too fast. I'm going to ask you to come in. You can do this with hand sanding or you can do it with these rotary sanders. And we just smooth this out, because what we have to do is draw feathers on this surface. Hello. Now, I was probably running at just a little too fast. And I thought I had it. Let's see. There we go. I got it down. I don't know how long it's going to. That is what's going to happen if you run it too. So I'm using this. It wants to start falling apart if you run it too fast. And you get pieces sticking out. Usually they're self-trimming, except when it gets down to here. So I'll trim that off and then try a little lower speed, and we're okay there. And this will get you in, and we'll get that dressed out. So what I was telling you not to do is exactly what I did. I was going too fast with it. Now you can smooth all this out. So all this surface is smooth, and it's got this concave area in here, which is dished out. Okay, let me get up here, clean that up. Now, here's what we're going to do. Let me get a pencil here. I'm going to come back with the center line, which is an extension of this line coming right on back up to the V. Okay, now here's what happens. Here's the bottom view, and the feathers come all the way out to here, and then they piggyback off each other into the center. So let me draw this in. Let me turn this around. I don't know if this is helpful to see or not, but we're going to duplicate this over here. So the outside feather goes into the body. So this line of action out here continues right to there. Okay, that's something we have to clean up yet. Now we're going to draw this first feather right here, and I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to estimate, let's see, just to give you a measurement, and you can take this right off the drawing too. This is about not quite 3/16 at the end here, okay, from here to here. So I usually eyeball it myself, and then I come out, and you get a little wider as you come out. And I believe this is about a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch from here over. And then it rolls back into here, like so. So that's the first one. Then the second one is about 1/16 apart. So I come right on up, and I turn right where the end of the wood is. Then you have another one, 1/16 apart, and that comes up and piggybacks right off the other one. That turns right on that. Then you got a fourth one down there, which is right on the center line coming up, and that turns right there. Now, for me to draw, I'm going to come around. I'm going to do this side here. I'm going to do this one, and I'm doing the exact same thing. This comes back into the body. This is your line of action right here. Then we come back here, we swing around, and we come into here like this. Then you go 1/16 apart. It's a little wider up the top, but most of the time it's 1/16 down here. I'll draw it this way though. This is going to come down like so. That's 2. Then you piggyback another one off, and that's 3. And then the fourth one comes right down the middle on the center line. That's 4. Okay, Now, there's actually 2 feathers under this one you don't see, but there is actually 10 on each side is what the real count is, but we don't see them, okay? Just to let you know that. Now, I'm going to come in. I'm going to use my tool rest. This is that tool rest, and I use this to help me steady myself because it's the easy way to do it, okay? So I'm going to lay, well, let me do this. I'll burn this edge in right there, like that, as a stop. Then I'll come right up to that rump and then draw my line as best I can, following my pencil line, right on out. Okay, then I go to my next one. And it's good to have a rest or something. I find these are great. It could be a block of wood, it could be anything you have. I have plenty of these rest if anybody ever looks for them. They're made out of rubber, and I have them clear or black or something like that. So anybody needs any, and they're very inexpensive. And then there's one right on the center line, coming right on up, and then it flares out at the end. Here, and turns. Then I'm going to do the other side. We'll finish up on that one to get that one in. Then I'm going to come down here with my burr. Back into that same track. There's one of them right there. Then we'll go and do the second one. There. Then we'll do the third one. Same thing, gliding it right on down, following the line. And then the fourth one is the center line. And then it flares out off the center line, and it comes over here. Okay? Then that space in the middle is your top feather that you'll hardly see at all. Now, let me do this. A lot of what I was showing you when we relieved the feathers here, we used the diamond with a safe end, which is this guy here, and we brought these out. In here, because they're concave, I'm going to ask you to do it either way. If you have the bullet shaped or the ruby flame or the diamond bit like this. In fact, let me use I'm going to use the bullet. Here's the bullet right here. I'm going to plug that one in. Go turn this on. Now, here's what I want to do. On the inside here, I'm going to follow my burn, and I'm angling in with the bullet so that the point is riding along that burn line. Now, it's ideal that you get everything smooth before you start doing anything to these feathers as far as drawing them in or burning them in, so that you have a nice smooth let me try. Let me go back. I'm going to try that other bit. Let's see. I think my bit was dirty because sometimes if I'm running into glue, it attaches to the diamond, and you don't get the cut. And for those who are looking for a way of cleaning the bits, I have what they call a white stone. It's only made just to clean the diamonds instantly. You add some water. It looks like a sugar cube. You run your diamond bit right through it and it cleans it right out. If you have any gunk on it or something like that, you can get it off real quick. So I hollow these out. I come down to this one and they step down. Now I'm going to do this side. So I'm going to come in this way, get the point in there. Then I'm going to do the next one. And that burn acts as a stop. So burn right up to that. And then the center one, you just could come in here and clean that out just for that little bit right there. Okay. Now, you're not done totally. What we try to do is we want to thin this feather, the outside one, so that it looks thin and the feathers aren't that fat. So what we do is we're going to come in and we're going to hollow out all of what's in here. And the same way on this one. It's going to give the illusion that these are thinner. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I get this bit sticking out a little bit more. Now this could be done with the bullet, the diamond, or the flame tip ruby. And what I do is okay, we had a little difficulty with the video I had. So I'm going to go back over this again so that we're aware of what I did before. Here's what I'm going to do again. In here on this outside feather, I lay my bit down the middle here and I rock it back and forth to get the concave area on the feather, okay? And if you see some markings here, that's because I erased some of it so we could go back over it. I do the same thing on this side. And the other thing I had done too is I come out on this end and I thin this out. And if you can see, that's pretty thin there. It's less than a 32nd out on the edge here, okay? And you want to do that even through here. You could leave them a little thicker here and get away with it. But what we ended up doing was, after we get this all smoothed out and we have a concave area on both sides, then I'm going to ask you to come in. This was on the burn here that we had for this feather. I'm running my bit right on the burn line and taking each one and undercutting them, okay? As well as the middle one, like so. Yeah, what happened was I drifted on one of the portions of the video, so I'm redoing this again. So you're sort of seeing things that are done ahead of time here. I'm going to smooth this out because I see when I dish this, I still had it a little rough. And then also, from here to here, you see some white from the back edge to the front edge here. I'm going to ask you to come in and thin that down. Okay. Then take that down again. Make sure that's pretty thin there, and that's good. This end could be a little thicker. Now, The other thing I do too is I come in here on this side and do the same thing. I relieve the feather to get each one of them out so that they stand out. Now, I prefer you doing it with this bit. You can do it, this is you can do it a bullet, diamond bullet. This is another diamond type. And you can also do it with a ruby flame, okay? Any one of them can do it for you. And I want you to undercut each one so they stage downward, okay? And as I had mentioned before, let me just throw something in there to you. If you ever got these clogged up because of tars that you're using with some woods, normally in basswood you'll never have that problem, but if you ever decided to try pine, you're going to find that it'll grab in there and get into that grit, and it doesn't cut as well. This is what they call whetstone, if anybody's ever in need of them. You want to clean just diamonds. You wet this, put it into a tray, and then flip it over so it's still wet, and then run your bit right through it. And it cleans them up instantly. Don't use this on ruby. It'll take the ruby right off, okay? So I just want to let you know these are fairly inexpensive, and anybody that needs these to clean up their diamonds, in case you were grinding on a piece where you had some glue or something that tends to grab in there, or if you have quick wood where you're filling it up, it tends to grab really good in there. You can just wet the stone, and then it's just like a sugar cube. It cuts right through it real easy, but it gives you instant clean out. Only diamonds, okay? So I want to let you know on that one. Now, once I relieved all these down here, the other thing that I was doing also, and I had I'm going to show you again. You want to thin these out, and I did it this way, when we got to the end, and I came in and I cleaned these out. So, and you could burn maybe 1/4 of an inch on each one of these, the outline of the feather, that is, which helps as a stop, and you get a cleaner cut through here. Now, the other thing, even though we had done the burning up here, I would like you to, at least for the ends here, come in and clean these out a little bit to make them thinner on top, like this. You're only doing a little bit, so you'll have to come back and reburn these again, but it makes for a thinner look on the end, so it really looks like the feathered edge, okay? And that really helps. I'm just noticing something here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. I need to cut this thing a little bit more. See where we're at, yeah. I'm going to do that on this side too. And I'm going to come over here. On this edge, on the outside one, take that down a little bit, take this down a little bit, so it's like dipping this way, just a little bit. Now, don't go crazy on me because you don't have that much material left on there, okay? I'm just taking that down slightly, all right? And that'll thin it from the top, and if you have to go back on it, you can thin it from the bottom too, okay? Now's the time. We added a little more work for you to do up top, but you'll live with it. I think that'll suffice. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a quill line in right here, and I'm going to put a quill line in right here. Now, the other ones, the quill lines are hidden underneath. You'll have like a center one right here. and that's representing the top feather. So I'm going to get my burning pen, and again, I'll get like a block of wood or something as a rest. This really helps you have control when you're burning, rather than sometimes holding it, your hands doing this and that. So you steady yourself. You can come in. Sometimes I feel as though I'm wearing the optivisor, but sometimes I think I could see without it better. So I'm coming down here, and I'm putting a quill in. Okay, then I'm going to come over here and get the quill in. Get on down. Okay. Now, all the veining for your feathering is on a 45-degree angle. So you're going to come in here like so. You're going to 45 it right on up to the rump. Okay. And if you miss a spot, you just go back over it again. No problem to it. And not to put a lot of stress on the feathers, you may want to roll this, because this is dished in here. Get it flat on your surface so that you're not going to do anything to the wood as far as cracking it or anything else like that. So there's the 45 that way. Now I'm going to do something here on the ends. I'm going to come back. I'm still stroking in the same direction, but I want to get an edge that looks like it's textured. So I'm just going to run this in the same direction as the veining, so it sort of marks that edge. Okay, and I'll even do it out here a little bit. I think I did something already. I think I just stabbed a piece of wood, and I'll show you how to fix that too. Okay, now on this side, I'm going to 45 it this way. Now I'm going to show you how to do repairs as well, because I made a mistake. Just what I told you I didn't want to do, I did. So this is a good thing too. It's a learning curve. This happens not only to you, but a lot of other people. And it's a learning process. And I'll show you how to remedy that as well. Now, all these on a 45-degree angle, every one of these that are coming down, let me just outline these because these are getting lost in here. This one. Okay. I'm going to come in and I'm going to burn these on a 45-degree. Okay. And keep them as tight as you can. It really makes it, you don't want any white showing if you could possibly do it. Okay. But you'll have a little bit. It's just that you want to keep it tight. That's how the feathers are. It has that veining to it. We're sort of making it stand out a little bit more so it looks more authentic. And then you got this real little one here. It comes all the way up to here. And you get your point up to get that one rather than try to lay it flat. You're sort of tilting upward. And that pretty much gets that one. Now, I'm going to go to this side. Now, there's the feather that just broke off, okay? So I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. let's save that piece. Now, we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to 45 it. See, and the reason why that feather may have broken, it could have had a flaw in the wood, or I could have gotten too thin. So just remember, you don't want to get too thin. I had some students that made it so thin they burned through to the other side, believe it or not. And that is too thin. You want to leave some body to it so that when you do move the pieces around, you have some strength to it, okay? Especially if you're showing it off or you're in a contest or something like that. You don't want it so sensitive that you can't even touch it, you know? So, and if you notice, I'm trying to get all of this with the veining in one direction, and it's not like it's got to get dark. It's just texturing it as close as I can from one line to another, okay? And that makes it looks more authentic. That's what I'm trying to get here. And the reason why I went back and ground down on the top side where we already had it burnt was because I want to thin the ends, okay? The ends I wanted to have real thin, okay, so that they don't look so heavy. And especially the ends here and here, so that they look like feathers rather than pieces of wood. So here we go again. I'm texturing this. I sort of get into a rhythm and a certain pressure I'll put for burning. And it doesn't have to be great. The tips get hot enough. Like I have an Optima pen with the unit, and a lot of them were very similar to each other, and you can get a temperature range that will burn hot enough that you'll get a real nice texture without torching it. I used to have in my class at one time a gentleman, I used to call him the torch, because if he didn't have a lot of smoke coming up, he wasn't burning. So not only did I burn it this way, I'm going to roll it on its edge here and sort of come around the corner here on the edge in the same direction like I did on the other side, and stroke through that, okay? Then I'm going to come this way and stroke through that so that it has markings both top and bottom. Now, we did have quills in here, and I sort of obliterated some of them, so I'm putting them back in again just to make sure. Put one right there, right there. Now I'm going to go on that 45-degree angle, get my burn back in there where it belongs. It's 45 to the quill. Okay. Do it on this side. Here. This needs a couple on this side. This needs a couple here. We need a couple out here. There you go. Now, let me show you the fix that we have. I'm going to get, there's two different glues you can get. And the one, let me show you. I'm going to grab a fresh one so you can see it. Hang on 1 minute. You can get something like this at a dollar store, and I prefer this because if you buy a big bottle of it, sometimes it sets up before you ever even use it, you know. And if you're only spending a little bit on it and it sets up, you don't care. So what I do is I puncture, see if I can find a piece of wire here. I just puncture this top. I hold this here. You plug that in. Oh, trying to plug it in without getting the glue all over. I don't know why I'm doing a good lousy job here. There you go. Got a hole in it. Okay. Now, I'm putting this whole thing back on. This is a two-part top here. This screws back on. This is your applicator here, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in real gentle. I'm going to squeeze back here, and it'll come out here. And when I see just a little bit out there at the edge, I'm just going to touch. I don't know if you can see that little bit of like a watery edge coming into play. And you got to watch you don't glue your finger to this thing. I'm going to come in. I'm going to place it there. Now it's starting to stick to my finger. Exactly. If you have a pair of tweezers, this could help too. But I'll get it. I'm going to touch this right into there. Okay. Now, I'm going to come back in very gently. Add a little more. If it moved a little bit, you got a chance to touch it one more time. And there you go. Now, make sure you put the lid back on here. And it screws on. There you go. And then you're all set, okay? Now, there's another type of glue, but I don't like to use this too much. This is the red one. This is liquidy. When we go to do the beaks, you're going to see me use the red one because it penetrates into the wood and it makes it look bony looking, and that's why I use the red one. The green one is what they call, it's a gel, and this is for gapping. I could have used it in that one spot, but I didn't want any buildup. And the one thing that I'm going to tell you, you never want to use these and then go back and burn over it. You can, but you want to hold the piece out here and not directly under your nose like you're burning with a burning pen and coming down on it, okay, where the vapors are coming back. The vapors are very dangerous on these super glues. So just want to give you a word of advice. Always keep the piece out away from you, like here, and not looking straight down. And then do your burning, and you shouldn't have any problem. Now, I'm going to leave this alone because I think we're at that stage where we got a little bit of the rump out, and we got the underneath side of the tail. So I hope you got something out of this one. I just realized I have to do the center yet, so I have to get the point right in there and burn it a little bit this way and that way, and we'll get that. And it's just a point, okay? But as I was saying before, we're going to start doing the rump and then the breast area. So we're getting really close now. and we're moving along, and everything should look like this. We need to do these yet, so we'll probably get this too on the next video. Hope you got something out of this one. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe to my channel, or if you have friends that may be interested in doing this, if you could put them onto my channel, I'd appreciate that greatly. That really helps. And and if anybody needs anything, like I have the blanks, I have the patterns, I have the feet, the eyes, I have a whole kit if you need that. I have a whole slew of other birds, I do. Not everything is on video yet, but we're working on it. You know, I have several. I have cardinals, wrens, chickadees, finches, otters. So I'll do a variety of stuff along the way. And if you're interested in following me, I do have kits that you can get from me, and I also have a catalog. And if you're looking for that, you can write to me through my email. It's Rauscher, RAUSCHER, Frank, FRANK, 7 @gmail.com. And if you didn't get that, it's in the body of the description of this video. So if you look there, you'll see my email address as well. So hope to see you on the next video, and I hope you got something out of this one as well. And we're marching on. Get ready for the rump. It's got a staging in there, and then we'll start doing feathering in there as well. So hope to see you on the next video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye now.